But it leads into our segment because me and you, I'm on the road doing stand-up every night in a club. The side of that people don't want to say of actual stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Danny's hitting the road. They've decided the Golden Globes. And a big thing we've talked about for a long time is these places, they make the wrong picks. They have no legitimacy.
No.
They suck. And we were very early on that. When we were in Toronto and people were like, oh, Just for Laughs, this and that. And I met at the corner, our comedy club, all of us were like, none of this matters.
Oh, yeah, big time. The thing is, it used to matter. So some people were like trapped in the old thing.
Okay, we were saying this 10 years ago.
Yeah, of course.
We were definitely saying this before everyone realized.
We were the first to be like, oh, yeah, well, it was easy because you were like, we knew people who just did Just for Laughs, and you're like, what did that do? And you're like, nothing.
They can't. You're so right, and that's why me and you even maybe more than me have always been kind of the analytics. How does this make Danny money?
What are the dollars and cents of this? If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
How does helping another Danny make me richer?
Ryan, I read this on this thing. Have you ever heard of old head memes?
That is true.
2016.
But it is actually true. You're always pocket watching people being like, I don't see any jingles and jangles in there. What did it do for you? But more so, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But now, and podcasting was in a lot of ways the reaction to that whole thing, right? Where everyone realized this really doesn't matter. Also, the diversity stuff was going so strong, and everyone kind of started podcasting their own thing. So then the industry has come crawling back, starting with their articles being like, "There's not enough women in podcasting. Too much white guys in podcasting. Why do bros run podcasting?" Then now they're deciding we're going to do a category for podcasting, and this is happening in 4 different places, not just
very
the podcast awards.
timely. 2026.
Yeah.
Hey, what's happening with podcasting?
Well, Amy Poehler didn't have a podcast in 2015. That's the problem.
Point. Will Arnett was still at a TV show.
Right. So people like us have been doing. What was it? When did our first podcast start? It was before Trump.
Before Trump,
right? Because I remember
2014.
Yeah, JJ. Yeah,
13,
so
14.
Yeah, to about 2014. So now it's been 12 years. I guess we've been doing podcasting. So then, I'll do the the podcast one is more outrageous because Joe Rogan's not on the list,
of course,
which is basically being
or Theo Vaughn,
or
Schultz.
The entire everyone who owns podcasting. I mean, it's the equivalent of being like, we're gonna have a Best Cola Award. You go, ooh, the nominees are RC, Zip,
Fago. Yeah.
It's so insane, right?
Yeah.
And the thing with these period is people I think the point that me and you have probably made a while ago is when institutions like this, mainstream institutions, say that we're gonna have a podcasting award and they don't pick the people that deserve it. They don't delegitimize the people.
No.
You only delegitimize your awards.
Of course. It was the same thing they did with like the Oscars, when they were just like, we need to have... Remember the Oscars came out 5 years ago and they're like, oh, you need to check all these boxes to be the best picture. And you go, okay, so then the best picture is just... I mean, obviously it's always arbitrary, but this is like, you're making it very arbitrary. Well,
here's why it was more arbitrary. It was less arbitrary, in my opinion. It was less arbitrary because in these categories... they owned all of the mediums, so they are biased and they have all this stuff and people are lobbying and pushing and blah blah blah. However, the people that are involved in that conversation was still probably like 85% of the best movies.
Yeah.
Now, what you said, we're gonna pick best podcasts, but we're only gonna pick from a pool of them which we control, which is 15%.
Right. And
they're liars because a lot of them, for example, it's Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard, Call Her Daddy, which is a huge podcast. Good Hang with Amy Poehler, Mel Robbins, Smartless, and then NPR's podcast. Now, some of these are popular, like Smartless and Amy Poehler. However, they're fake popular because they know how to game the system of iTunes and Spotify lists.
An NPR podcast is they have the marketing of they literally get federal funds to push their podcast.
And do you think they do anywhere near the numbers of a million other podcasts?
Hell no.
It's not even close.
Probably like I don't know.
Do you think Smartless does a third of Rogan numbers?
No.
Yeah.
No.
And how they try to justify is they're like really high on the iTunes list. You go, that's not a list of how many views you have.
No.
It's a list of a combination of
bunch of
BS.
things like recent
subscribers, reviews, this and that, and this and that.
Caller Daddy seems like the one where you go, that's probably.
If you were going to pick a girl podcast, she was part of the thing.
She's
and
the top girl podcast. Like that's probably the one I have no objection.
And she's not. Candace Owens is, but you know,
yeah, that would be something. Candace Owens accepting her Golden Globe. She's like, "Hello, Golden Globalists. Thank you for this award."
So it's a real joke. But they did stand up too, which I think was even equally as crazy because they did. So Bill Maher, is anyone else seeing this? So Bill Maher was the best stand up album. I guess he's famous enough that whatever. I mean, like you said, he even want to do stand up anymore.
He's scared of his enemies. He's worried of getting killed on stage.
The Maher swindler. But whatever. Brett Goldstein, so I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been a stand-up comedian for 15 years now. It's all I've done for most of my time. Is probably do stand-up and editing has taken up most of my time. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he's from Ted Lasso.
I know that now.
Yeah, he's from. That's the thing is the Golden Globes and like the industry writ large has such a hard-on for Ted Lasso, right? They're just like Ted Lasso.
He's also the best stand-up. You go, what has he been doing for 2 years? Actually, since he started doing Ted Lasso, he hasn't done a ton of stand-up other than this one special.
He ran a set 3 times before he filmed his special.
Which wouldn't even be in the conversation of any green room of which stand-up specials were good.
No,
have you ever heard it's been like, it's obviously this year it was like Chappelle, Louis, Goldstein.
Goldstein, you say?
Yeah, and you're right. They make me talk shit about this guy. Maybe he's a good guy. I don't know the guy. Do you think they just saw Goldstein?
They just saw Goldstein. They go, we got to get someone with
Kevin Hart's, obviously, that's the guy who deserves to be in there. Gervais and Kumail Nanjiani. So I'll just say, Kumail Nanjiani, who I actually like as a guy, part of the TJ Miller,
Silicon Valley,
TJ Miller, Pete Holmes kind of crew or whatever. But just to put it in perspective, he stopped doing stand-up for 13 years. I was at the Improv maybe like a year and a half ago, and he was like, I'm just trying to get back into stand-up. Stand-up's got popular again. He goes, I haven't been to stand-up in like 12 years, and I'm getting back into it. So I'm starting to like try to put together this hour or whatever.
Some people are just that good. Ryan just can't understand that some people are just that good. Yeah, Ted Williams fucking left for 4 years to go fight in World War II and came back, and it was just raking, man.
I don't know who that is.
Ted Williams, a baseball player. Hit over 400 in a season for Boston Red Sox.
Okay, yeah.
Greatest hitter of all time.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're saying that someone could disappear for 12 years.
Correct.
Kind of come back and start, getting his footing, and lo and behold, it was the best album of the year.
I mean, the real question is, who was the best Indian this year? Is because they probably were like, we want an Indian or someone in that.
I mean, I'll tell you, Akash, who is obviously people know are in the controversial Akash stand-up special did better.
Probably.
There's also some random Indian dudes where you just go.
Oh no, Hassan Minhaj.
There's all these Indian dudes where you're just like, yo, you have no idea. This guy just.
Oh, I see them on my Instagram, and you go, this guy is like.
You're like, who?
Dude, there was There was a random guy who I saw on my Instagram reels come up. He was like an Indian comic, and then he's like, I have a new special out. And I went and clicked on it. It was on YouTube. It had 10 million views in the first 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly, right?
But that's India.
Yeah, I get why you're bringing an English-speaking one. But the point of the matter is, you don't, if you don't have, and I don't know exactly who is qualified or what, but it's like, who are the biggest stand-ups? It's like, Louis, who I guess they give him stuff, but like Shane's the biggest stand-up in the world right now.
The fact that Shane's
Ari's special, was bigger than anyone's.
Yeah, the fact that Shane's stand-up special, I guess
Norman, those guys
doesn't count. But his special has 50, 60 million views on YouTube right now?
Yeah, exactly. But okay, he might not count for that, but you know what he did count for? Best podcast, and he's like number 2 on the charts. Well, Nate, they probably would have given it to, so there's probably some reason. I feel like Nate would bet them wanting to give it
Sebastian to Maniscalco.
There's just so many. It's just, people that are monsters. But that's in the Kevin Hart category.
Yeah, but look, we all know that like the Hollywood
you're right.
award show is just this like, it's a club, you ain't in it, it's a real circle jerk.
Yeah, it is a circle jack off.
Yeah, and this is just what it is. They're like, oh, Dax Shepard.
I agree with you.
I know it's popular.
The level of egregious to me, it was just like comical, I guess you could say.
Of course.
Where you're just like best stand-up and you go, the Rogan verse, which probably undeniably owns stand-up comedy right now. Mm-hmm. You go, no one from there is in it. You go, crazy. They didn't have the people who own podcasting and stand-up right now didn't have one thing in the top 5 best podcasts or stand-ups. You go, what a wild, they must have slacked.
Yeah. Now, for the Golden Globes, because I know some of these, do you have to apply?
Yeah, people have to apply, but a lot of people do apply.
Yeah. I'd be curious if...
No, because everyone has big managers, and the managers all do that.
Yeah, they just do it.
Like, if you're on WME, they all do it all.
Yeah, they just do it. They just go...
Yeah, it's a few bucks. And I'm sure... I don't know the ins and outs of everyone. I'm sure I could name off 10 people, and you could have a reason for... Well, that guy... You know what I mean? But I'm just saying...
Yeah.
It's such a joke. So, I mean...
It's no laughing matter, you might say.
We're going to do a top 5 devices to shoot a bullet out of. And then the top one, throwing it.
It's literally like top 5 best basketball players in the world. Caitlin Clark, AJ Wilson, other one.
Top 5 devices to drink a water out of. It's like your hands, a bowl.
Hey, man, bowl's pretty good.
Cup didn't make the cut. So this... it is funny too.
I definitely drank water out of a bowl in a pinch when I was in college. Just got just like I don't. It's not
I
even
drink
like,
out of a plate.
Yeah, it wasn't even like we don't have any clean glasses. It was like we don't have any glasses. All of a sudden, we don't have any.
We had a thing at our house where we started a thing where everyone has one bowl, one cup, one plate. You never heard that? Yeah, I feel like that was a thing. Some other houses are, but everyone had one item, so there was no dishes because everyone only had one item.
Right. That's the way to do it.
Smart. It was
just smart.
It was actually smart. You can never convince a girl to do that. No. It's that kind of minimalist behavior is.
And they didn't match, I imagine. Like you all went down to Value Village and got your own one.
Yeah,
it was like some very kitschy, like
for sure,
like number one dad mug.
Everyone had one of each item.
Uncle of the year, like mug, and you're just like, this is my mug.
Yeah. So it is funny though. It's obviously made themselves irrelevant, but it wasn't just happening there. And by the way, it wasn't just the first. Also,
they're not giving it to Ricky Gervais. Sorry to cut you off, but Ricky Gervais is not winning.
He's acceptable into those people.
I know, but just because his speech will just be, unless maybe there's something where they want him to just this is like a good soundbite, because he's going to
possible. He's pretty accepted to those people though,
because he's just like everybody wants him. Everybody who doesn't watch the Golden Globes are like, bring him back to host, and they're definitely like, no, he can't host anymore. I don't know who's hosting, but I feel like they won't give it to him.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear from him.
Maybe. I don't. I feel like I disagree with you. I'm not saying he will win, but I'm saying guys like that could easily be given it.
Yeah.
I mean, he won tons of stuff. He's accepted. He still does TV shows and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's possible.
But it's the first year too, so it's not like they were saying, well, yeah, obviously we gave it to Rogan last year. We want to spread it around. You know what I mean? You could.
No, this is basically first rap album at the Grammys where you go, Will Smith and Maestro Fresh West, the best rappers in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So it makes me laugh. But they did the Streamer Awards, and they did the exact same thing. They tried to ignore Aiden Ross and Asmongold. That guy's like enormous.
Yeah,
so they ignored all these people. I watched a bit of the Streamer Awards, which it was fucking weird, dude. They had like this chick, and she was trying to do like a monologue jokes, and she was walking around doing jokes, and they were so bad. He was like, who? Because they didn't have a comedian host it, which would obviously have been.
Which is so weird because they have money. Like whoever, like I imagine,
but they all
sponsored by Twitch or something.
I think it's like very girl oriented, and there was like it was some Asian girl, and maybe she's a big streamer, and they're like, well, she's the funniest person in the world. But she goes, and she's like, and Kai Cenat, he looks like P Diddy. And everyone just like doesn't do anything, and then the one guy's like, "Yo, fuck you." It's just like this weird ass thing.